The customer comes in with a lifestyle, a personality, with a dream, a proportion, a finger size. It funneled down into this design right here. We're emphasizing the color, we're emphasizing the shape, platinum ring. By removing as much material as I can between the stones, but yet keeping a really strong bead to set those stones, I can create an effect of a very fine piece of jewelry, but the thickness of the ring, the strength of the ring remains. My name is Jaco. Behind the camera, as always, is Demaya. Let's get into it. I sketched this design up in proportion to her finger size, and I've sketched it up in proportion to the stones, and it gives me a perfect balance to exactly how the ring's going to manifest. It develops. It's kind of like you're starting to make the ring by putting it on paper. I draw it on a 3:1 scale. Once I've done this, I can actually take measurements from my design because it is proportional. And second of all, I can send a proof through to the customer saying, these are the proportions, this is what it will look like, and we get a go ahead from there. So I'm working with platinum, and there's many ways, like I've explained, how to make this, and I'm not fighting you if you're making it another way. I myself use different techniques on this as well, but in this case, I'm going to take a flat piece of platinum, roll it out, and scribe the diamond's shape so that when I remove the diamond, I can then pierce the little cavity where I want the diamond to lie. Now I know I've traced it on the actual size of the stone, but I've cut slightly on the inside. I'm not looking for the stone to be seated in the metal. I want the stone to be lying on top of the metal. It gives me a very, very good indication of where I can then draw the distance of the diameters of the stones.
Is it the diameter of the stones plus some, or?
So I'm taking the diameter of the diamond and I'm putting a little bit extra on top of it. I can then always work it off and get it down to where I feel it could be absolutely perfect for the stones. So I'm looking for a glittering area. I don't want it to look like I've got exactly these stones spaced around. So I'm trying to get the diamonds in as close as I possibly can. Having this big plate that I'm working with allows me to do all of this on a flat surface. Now, since I've taken it apart, I'm sitting with a setting, but I still need to house that green stone, which means I've got to bring some sort of a claw in. That little gap that I've given myself, that's slightly smaller than the stone actual size, I'm going to utilize that now, and I'm going to go between two diamonds where I've created cavities of two diamonds. I'm going to use that little V shape over there. I'm going to put a nice big chunky claw in. So already when I'm putting the stone down, it's not going to fit. But now these recessed claws are making nice and chunky. It will allow me to seat this diamond with very chunky, serious claws. The third claw is round as well, as you can see. But at the same time, I'm going to be shaping that because I'm working with a thick enough wire to allow me. If you do enjoy the work that we do, you can support the channel by going to the link and buying us a coffee. Thank you very much for all the people that have supported us so far. The money that's generated through this platform goes directly back into making these videos. You have got this responsibility to make sure that those stones are going to be as secure as possible. That's the structural part of it. And we make it pretty and bring a balance between those two. So I need this setting to be somehow mounted on top of this ring. Now you've got the two parts that come up that's going to hold the sides of it. That's given because we've got a bit of height on this. And at the same time, we've got this cavity at the bottom. I've seen people make them without anything at the bottom. There's nothing wrong with that, but I like a lot of support. So I'm creating a little structure, a plate structure underneath it. The feeling behind that is that I'm going to create these arches that come up from the bottom. It kind of like has a nice little origin point, which sort of spreads out and presents the setting with the stones in it. I like doing this kind of thing. It fills up the space, it gives it some architectural feeling. So now I'm turning it around, I'm looking at the plate itself, and I'm putting it on top of this little structure that I've built, and I need to know where these ends are going to end. I glue the parts together to make sure that I've got no movement whatsoever, and I trim it down to those points. I'm basically removing material right now towards the goal that I'm looking for. After the shaping is done, I'm bringing the two parts together, joining them together, and then from there onwards, I also join right in the center where I want the contact to be made with the ring. I join a piece of wire. I enjoyed putting it together like this because it allows me to drill a hole in the contact point of the ring, press it down exactly where I want it, and I can solder it from the bottom. It also allows me to move it around, and when I bring those lugs to the top, it really holds that setting perfectly in place, and I can just bring them around just to the point where they fit. It does add additional solder to the ring as well, meaning I've got additional strength holding. It's not just the point of those two, the point where it touches, it actually has a point where it touches, as well as that whole cylinder coming down to the bottom, which is now filled with solder. So it's a really strong way of doing it as well. So there's a different way of going about this, and some of my previous videos I've cut and opened up things and gone about it this way around. I'm going to, in this case, bend the ring into shape like this, and I'm going to insert this little section into that ring where it meets this part of the ring. I'm considering that angle. It's a fun way of going about it. It's a little bit more tricky. All the techniques are completely valid, and I enjoy making jewelry with dragging something out of a library in my head and just going ahead and doing it. I kept the little part of the ring, which is going to be where the setting is seated. I'm keeping that slightly narrower. So I'm actually using that as a design point. The shank on the sides, so I'm bringing more diamonds down to the shank of it. And really just bringing the whole thing together was a pleasure. It takes the time once you get close, and you refine it, and it gets closer and closer and closer. Everybody has their own style of making jewelry, and that's, I suppose, where your own personality comes through, is by your end results. You sort of fall into it over the years, and it becomes your thing. I was really surprised with the kind of delicacy I could get out of something that was essentially so chunky. I want the stones to be enhanced. I want to remove everything else, but yet I want to keep it nice and strong. It really comes to this... It's almost like you form the personality of the customer into this piece of jewelry. And I know that they're happy because they tell me that they're happy with what we did. I loved making this ring. If you enjoyed what we did over here, please like and subscribe, share the video, tell your friends about it. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.